Hey everyone, Bob Kendall here. Just want to thank you all for watching my videos. If you do want to support the channel, go to www.kendallreport.com/wavetech. Sign up for our software. You get market grid on 165 individual stocks and indices. You also will get 16,500 buy and sell signals on our entire database. I thank you so much for supporting the channel. Those of you who have already signed up, thank you so much. Welcome everyone to the Kendall Report, where I share my 41 years of experience to help you manage your portfolios and protect your wealth. Remember to subscribe, like, and share these videos. In tonight's video, I'll be taking a little more of a casual approach. I have a limited time to get this done tonight, so there'll be mostly like a live stream, and that will be how we go forward as far as tonight goes. Also, I want to make an announcement that the live stream on Wednesday won't be until 2:30 New York time. And that's when we'll start. So that's an hour later. Make sure you mark your calendars on that. But as we look back at yesterday, markets were basically flat ahead of the Fed and all the big earnings reports coming out. For instance, Apple and Tesla, Facebook, all of these are coming out on Wednesday, but they're coming out after the market close. So they're not going to have any material effect till Thursday. That's where we'll start to see a glance on how the rest of this week is going to end up. But as we go into Wednesday, we also have the Fed. And the good news is, as I mentioned, we'll be live shortly after the Fed's report. I can't get here until that time tomorrow. I've got some other obligations, but we're going to be live talking about what the Fed had to say. We'll be going through a lot of details on all of the markets tomorrow. So that's where all the content for the next 24 hours will exist. So, but as we look at yesterday, it was really just a nothing day. We did see some early strength that faded and basically ended up flat to lower. Overnight, we're seeing some recovery in the NASDAQ, but we're really not seeing anything else go on in the S&P as far as that goes. It's basically down about 3 to 5 points, and there's not a lot going on there. Everything's on hold until we get the Fed meeting behind us and all the things that we've got to digest tomorrow. For the most part, that's going to be the focus of the day, so it'll be interesting to see how we trade up to that. As I mentioned in Monday's video, I do expect to see some collaboration between the Fed and the Treasury as we go forward. Now, Janet Yellen just got in yesterday, so don't expect to see much out of that, but I do expect to start to see some announcements coming out of the Treasury next week and see what type of spending and other types of programs they start to put out there. Now, as we all know, everything's predicated right now in the entire market on stimulus. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen, and that's how this market's going to trade. Even though we've been able to make slightly new highs, we're still struggling up here. In just a minute, I'm going to go through the WaveTech database, and you'll see it has penetrated through some critical levels as we're starting to see some substantial liquidation on a short-term basis. So as we go forward for the rest of the week, this thing is likely to start to expand and to accelerate as far as the selling goes in the short-term models. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what they're telling us for Wednesday. As I begin with the review of the WaveTech database, we're continuing to see that the markets are getting some selling in spite of the flat performance. Even though we were able to make an all-time new high yesterday, this market is still starting to show signs that it's rolling over on a short-term basis. At least for one thing for sure, the breadth is starting to contract a bit. We can see that in tonight's run, we had 1,600 sell signals, about 330 buy signals. So we had a net loss of about 4% in the database overall, and that puts us at a 59.26% bullish level. I've been talking to you about this for the last couple of weeks. If we penetrate through the 62% bullish level, that we'd see further retracements. Now, this is the daily database on the WaveTech models. This does not affect on a larger scheme the intermediate models, we are starting to see some substantial selling come in. I'm expecting to see this move down to at least 52%, and if it breaks through 48%, the next major number we'll be watching is 42%. A penetration of that will signal a full short-term rollover possibility of a 5-7% correction if that happens. So far, we do not have that signal, and we'll have to watch how this thing trades, but we are definitely seeing some substantial liquidation in the database. In tonight's video, I'm only going to be going through the daily numbers on the futures and on the cash on the S&P. This is just so you can get some of the market grid numbers and understand some of the basic configuration before I go live tomorrow. As I review the S&P futures, we'll see that momentum is continuing to fade. We're below the first and second derivatives on ppm1. The key number is still that 10-period moving average, which is at 38.20. Yesterday, we saw a low of 38.21, which was close to a test of that number. Overnight so far, we've seen a move down to 38.35. I do expect, as we look at the market grid, for a move down to at least the S2 number, which would be a retest of yesterday's low, and the possibilities of seeing a move to the 38.0650 level, which would be a penetration of the 10-period moving average. And ultimately, I believe we're setting up for a move down toward the 37.90 to 37.84 level. The next couple of days will be very critical as we come into those points. If we look at the SPX for tomorrow, the market grid suggests for at least an S2 number, which is 38.31. An S3 number would be 38.22, so that will be the target range. So we're looking for a minimum of an R1 S2 range on the cash markets for Wednesday. As I mentioned in the opening comments, the NASDAQ is up about 0.5% overnight. The key number continues to be the 10-period moving average here again at 13,222. As we look at the market grid, the possibilities are for an R2 number 13,600. We've been at 13,551. S1 is 13,431. So we could get an R2 S1 number. If we can penetrate through S1 at 14,431, then look for the next level to the 13,371. But the key number, as I mentioned, is that 13,222, which is the 10-period moving average. The final market that I'll cover tonight is gold. Gold is seeing a little bit of pressure overnight. This looks like it's going to continue. The Dow remains stable, trying to move slightly higher. But gold is still in trouble here from the pattern standpoint that we've already seen a move to the S2 number overnight. If this number is taken out at 1843, then look for 1837 to 1831 on an intraday basis. If we did penetrate through the 1831 level, the next level would be for a move down to 1817, and the extreme for this week does appear to be around the 1794 level. So this market still has a lot of work to do. I've talked about the configuration being bullish. I still believe that's the case. I'll go through lots of details on the live stream tomorrow. So remember, 2:30 Eastern Time live stream. This will complete tonight's video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the live stream on Wednesday.